Hi, welcome to Hatha Flow. My name is Katherine. So I was supposed to start a live class today at City Hall, but it got canceled. So I am offering a class via video. This class is for basically just relaxation, opening up the backs of the legs. Hopefully you're gonna feel pretty centered after this class ends. We're gonna begin on our backs. Have your knees bent, coming into constructive rest position. Feet are as wide as the mat and let the knees fall in. Rest your hands on your belly and take 3 slow, big belly breaths. Letting the belly expand into the hands as you inhale. Exhaling out the mouth or the nose, whatever feels most centering for you. And then walk your hands up to stack on your heart and welcome your whole self to this practice today. Body, heart, and mind, however you are, just like this today, welcoming yourself to the mat. Welcome. And then release the arms alongside the body and start to swing the knees side to side. Windshield wipering them side to side. Letting the pelvis rock a little side to side as you do this as well. And then coming back through center, I'd like you to walk your feet about hips width distance apart, keeping the knees bent. Let's do a few pelvic tilts. Exhale, flatten your low back to the mat, drawing tummy in. Inhale, relax, allow the lumbar curve to be restored. Exhale, flattening lumbar spine, low back to the mat. Inhale, relax. One more time, exhaling, flattening low back to the mat. And inhaling, relax. And then walking the hands a little closer to the body, alongside the body. We're gonna come in and out of bridge flow. So press the feet down, inhale, sweep your arms up towards the sky and back behind you. Exhale, hips lower to the mat, arms alongside the body. Inhaling, hips lift, arms lift. Keep your gaze on the ceiling, please. Exhale, hips lower, arms lower. Continue to move with your breath. And we'll be doing this a handful more of times. And I'd like you to, as you do this, say to yourself, as I breathe in, I know I'm breathing in. As I breathe out, I know I'm breathing out. Continuing to link the movement to the breath. Twice more. And then releasing hips and arms back to the mat. With an exhale, draw your right knee to your chest. Hold on to the back of the right thigh. Extend opposite leg along on the mat. And then your next inhale, extend your heel towards the sky, the right one that is. Exhale, point the toe and bend the knee. And then we're gonna just keep doing that. Inhaling, extending leg towards the sky. Exhale, bending, pointing the toe. So you're kind of warming up the ankle as well as inviting a stretch into the back of the leg. And then the next time you inhale, reaching the heel towards the sky, let's pause there for a couple breaths. Feel the stretch. Good, and now keep the leg in a vertical position. Release your arms alongside the body and just nice and easy point of the toe. I'd like you to draw your low belly in, keep it there while you continue to breathe, stabilizing both sides of the pelvis to the mat. And you're just going to draw a little circle on the ceiling with your toes. Little circle. So the circle's coming from your hip. Moving the entire right leg as a unit to make that little circle. And then the other direction. Maybe now starting to make a little bit of a bigger circle. Going nice and slow. Bigger circle, perhaps try to keep both sides of the pelvis on the mat. And then smaller circles. And then release, right foot to the floor. Let's do the second side. Exhale, left knee to chest, straighten out opposite leg, holding the back of the thigh. Inhale, extend left heel towards the sky, peel the toes towards the knee. Exhale, slowly point the left toe as you bend the knee again. Keep moving. And as you're moving, let it be like a meditation. As I inhale, I know I'm inhaling. As I exhale, I know I'm exhaling. Next time you inhale, extending the heel, pause there for a few rounds of breath, holding the stretch. Toes peeling back towards the knee. Leg circles, so nice and easy, gentle pointing of the left foot. Release the arms to the floor, stabilize the back of the pelvis as you move the leg as a unit into circles, little circles on the ceiling, starting nice and small. Stay present to the sensations that are ever changing as you move this leg around in space. And then let's go the other direction with our circles. We're using the muscles of our core to stabilize the rest of our body as we draw these circles, making the circles a little bigger, nice and slow, so we can really stay present to those sensations. And then move the circles into a little bit tighter circles. And coming back through center. And release left foot to the floor. Let's go ahead and flip over onto our bellies. Walking your toes as far from the top edge of your mat as you can. Bring your hands on either side of your chest, bending elbows towards the sky. Let's do a few cobras. Using just the muscles of our back, inhaling to lift our chest and our head. Keep your feet down, please. And then exhale, lower down, bring your right cheek to the mat. We're going to come in and out of Cobra pose a handful of times here. Inhaling, using just the back muscles, no handsies. Lifting head and chest. Exhale, lowering left cheek to the mat. Inhaling, lifting head and chest. Exhaling, right cheek to the mat. Inhaling, lifting head and chest. Exhaling left cheek to the mat. Now, the next time you lift your head and chest, we're going to pause here in Cobra Pose, moving the shoulder blades closer together behind you and down the back a little bit to broaden the chest. Elbows hugging in, pointing towards the sky. And then on the next inhale, slowly lift your feet any amount, nice and easy here. We're just warming up. Stay here for a round of breath. And then exhale, release to the mat. Stack your forearms, crocodile. Take a moment, shimmying the hips, releasing any tension in the back. Place your hands on the floor. Come on up through hands and knees. Spread your fingers nice and wide, wrists under shoulders, chakra Vakasana. With an inhale, broad back, lifting head and tail, heart melts towards the floor. And then the exhale, rounding the spine. Lift that spine towards the ceiling as you sit back to your heels, chest to thighs. Releasing the head towards the floor. Let's move in and out of this chakra Vakasana. Inhaling, coming up, back bend, shoulders are over wrists. Exhaling, rounding the back, rear goes back in space, chest to thighs, elbows to the mat. Release your head. Let's do that 3 more times. Next time you sit back in your heels, bring your knees really wide for a wide knee child's pose, inviting a stretch to the inner thighs. One more round of breath. And then inhale, come on back up, walk the knees back towards each other. Balancing cat. Extend your left leg back and up. Keep your hips level. Notice your breath. You're reaching through that back heel. You may choose to stay here or extend right arm forward. Few rounds of breath. Engaging the front of the trunk, kind of stitching up the tummy, drawing in to create a sense of broadness in the low back. One more round of breath here. Now release your right hand to the floor and drop your left foot to the floor behind you. Keep the left leg straight. We're going to come into a supported side plank. Release your left heel to the floor as you kick your bottom foot back behind you and open up left arm over right. So now my left shoulder is stacked over my left hip. And then I'm going to circle my top arm. So big circles. Pressing the left foot into the floor. Going the other direction with these circles. And then pausing, left arm vertical, leaning the head and heart back a little bit. Last breath. Second side, left hand to the floor, left knee to the floor, balancing cat on right leg back behind you. So right leg lifts. Maybe you stay here, maybe you extend left arm. Really pressing whatever's touching the floor, pressing down through that and lifting up away from the floor by pressing down. Notice the quality of your breath. And then exhale, left hand to the floor, right foot to the mat behind you. Supported side plank. Kick your bottom foot out, land your right heel, and reaching right arm towards the sky as you turn your trunk to the right. Big circles with your top arm. Nice and slow, so you can really appreciate, once again, the changing sensations that you're feeling in the body. Where do you feel this as your arm reaches bicep over ear and then towards the sky? What changes? And then go the other direction. And now right arm reaching towards the sky. We'll pause here for a couple rounds of breath, drawing shoulder blades together behind you, laying the head and the heart back in space. And exhale back through all fours. Thread the needle. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, glide left arm between right and right leg. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, slide it through. We're gonna do that one more time and then we'll land that shoulder. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, landing the left shoulder. And rotating our heart to the right. Press the left hand into the floor, the back of that left hand in the floor. You're welcome to come into a bind here if you like, with that right arm. Be here for about 2 more rounds of breath. And then the next inhale, come on back up through all fours. Second side. Inhale, right, left arm up. Second side. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, reach it up. Thread it through. Just gentle invitation of the spine into the rotation before we land that shoulder. And now let's land that shoulder, right shoulder to the floor. Pressing the back of the right hand into the floor here as you draw the right shoulder away from that hand. Please come into a bind if you like a good bind here. Got about 2 more rounds of breath. Good, and then inhale, come on back up through all fours. Have your knees directly underneath your hips so the thighs are parallel. And exhale, sit back onto the heels. Bring the backs of your hands to stack on your sacrum as you release your head down towards the floor. We're going to come into Vadrasana Flow. So on an inhale, come on up, standing up on knees, reach the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinging from your hips, rear goes back, heart comes forward, dive down, back to beginning position, a little tap of the forehead, just gently on the floor. Inhaling, kick into the floor to stand up on those knees, reaching up overhead. Keep moving, flowing with the breath, strengthening the glutes, getting more movement in the spine. Broadness in the chest as you dive down. We'll do about 3 more of these. Next time you reach up, pause there and let's roll the wrists, rolling those wrists. And then exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Tuck your toes, downward dog with those hips. Taking a few moments here in downward dog, pedaling out the feet if that feels good. Some people like stillness when they come up into downward dog for the first time in their practice. So please do that. We'll be here for about 4 breaths. Lifting the hip creases. Make sure your fingers are spread real wide as you press the base of each finger into the mat. So you're not bearing the load of this downward dog on the heels of the hands. You want to really feel the weight of your body spread out throughout the entire surface of your palms, your fingers. And then slowly drawing the chin towards the chest. You're going to look at your belly button. 1 more round of breath here. And then release your head and take a slow stroll to the top of your mat. You're just going to walk your feet forward into a forward fold. Let's take a couple breaths. Maybe the knees are bent a little or a lot as you gaze at them, folding over the legs. And then let's bend those knees as we roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. That's the last thing to come up. Mountain pose. Feel your breath. And I'd like you to slow your breath down so it's equal counts, right? So if you're inhaling for the count of 4, exhale for the count of 4. And we're going to move through some half sun salutations. Just inhaling, reaching the arms up, exhaling, folding. Exhale completely to begin. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, sweep out and up, reach up. When the exhale arrives, dive back down again. Feel free to bend the knees a little bit as you dive if you need to. Inhaling, reaching up, stand up. Exhaling, folding towards the floor. Last time, inhale, reach out and up. And then palms together, exhale at your heart, feel your breath. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, dive down. And step your left foot back behind you, slowly lowering the left knee, coming into a low lunge. Both hands are going to rest on your right knee. And feel free to put some padding under that bottom knee if you need. And then we're going to move our left arm coming in and out of the slow lunge. So on an inhale, bend the front knee, lift the left arm up. Exhale, coming out of it. So we're just intensifying the stretch on the inhale, reaching up and exhaling, giving yourself a little break. On the next inhale, you're going to come on into it a little bit more. Tummy's in, heart lifted, reaching both arms up now, round of breath. On the next exhale, land the feet, half Hanumanasana, Ardha Hanumanasana. So you're going to walk that right foot forward, peel the toes back, stretching out the back of the right leg. And try to keep a broad chest while you're here. On an inhale, you're lengthening your heart away from your navel. On the exhale, maybe you're feeling your chest get a little closer towards the leg as you fold deeper. Reaching that right hip back in space away from the right heel. Last breath. Good, and then start to walk the foot back. Let's bend that right knee once more. You're going to walk the right foot out to the outside of the mat, and both hands are going to come to the inside of that right foot. Coming into a variation of lizard pose. So often lizard pose, we have that back knee pretty far back. Here, I just want you to sink your hands into the mat on the inside of that foot. So I got that right knee bent. Feeling your breath, noticing where you're feeling the sensation in your body. And then keep the left hand to the mat. Inhale, reach the right arm up towards the sky. Go revolved lizard variation. And my left knee is pretty much underneath my hips. One more round of breath. And then right hand back to the floor. Step your feet back. You can either come into child's pose or downward dog, your choice. Couple of rounds of breath. And pedaling the feet now. Once again, we're going to take a nice slow walk towards our hands, walking forward. Bend the knees a little bit as you inhale, reverse swan dive, reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart, feel your breath. Second side, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step your right foot back behind you, lowering that right knee. Coming on up, hands on left thigh. And then inhaling, right arm reaches up as you bend the front knee, deepening the stretch. Exhale, come on out of it, lower the arm. Keep moving with the breath. Next time you bend the front knee, reaching that right arm up, we'll pause here. Both arms into the sky, kicking the back foot into the floor. That's going to take a little bit less weight on the knee, but also you might find a deeper stretch in the front of the right hip. On the exhale, hands come back down to the mat, Ardha Hanumanasana. Walk that foot forward, peel the toes back. Reaching the left hip away from the front foot. And we're hinging from that hip crease, keeping a broad chest. If the floor feels real far away, you might need to grab some blocks. Good, and then we'll walk that left foot forward, door back towards the body and come into the variation of lizard pose. Heel toe, left foot to the edge of the mat. Now both hands are on the inside of the left foot. And just letting your trunk sink down towards the floor. I just have my hands on the floor. Some people may be able to you might be able to bring your elbows to the floor. For this variation, we're just going to keep that right knee pretty much underneath the right hip. And then let's come into the twist. So left arm reaches up towards the sky, pause here, lengthening the left hip away from the front of the mat. On your next exhale, left hand to the mat. Step the left foot back, child's pose or downward dog, your choice. 3 breaths. And taking a slow stroll to the top of the mat, forward fold. Hands to shins or thighs, and let's come to a half forward fold. So inhale, extend your spine forward. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Feel your breath. Shift the weight of your body into your right foot. Bringing your gaze to something eye level in front of you. We're going to come into tree pose. So bending the left knee, swing the knee open and slide the foot either above or below your standing leg knee, hugging the foot into the thigh into the foot. Feel your breath. And from here, you can keep the palms together at your heart, or maybe you'd like to reach the arms up overhead. Continue to breathe, a steady pace. Equal inhale to exhale. Good, and then from here, you're going to step your left foot back behind you to real far, and then pivot towards the long edge of your mat. Take a look at your toes. I'd like you to pivot them towards the left, coming into a warrior 2 position, bending your left knee, opening your arms out left and right. And then rotate your palms towards the sky. Imagine that you're kind of holding a platter in each hand, like you're a waiter, a waitress. You're drawing the shoulder blades flat onto the back and broadening the chest. And then keep this broad chest as you just rotate your palms towards the floor. Gazing over the middle finger of the left hand. Good, and then reverse warrior 2. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down towards the floor, coming through a high lunge. So the back knee is going to be up and your left knee is bent over the left heel. Round of breath here. Good, step back, exhale, downward dog. And inhale, coming forward through plank or hands and knees. We'll pause here in plank or hands and knees for 3 rounds of breath. Pressing the feet and the hands into the floor. Feel the strength of your arms and legs. And then on an exhale, lower down to the mat. Walking the feet as far from your head as you can on the mat, and then feet together. Let's come into Cobra pose. Using the muscles of your back, draw the shoulder blades together as you lift the chest. Good. Exhale, lower back down. That's one Cobra. We're going to do one more and then another one and then hold it. Okay, so inhale, lift back up into Cobra, hugging elbows in. We're just using the muscles of the back, no hands. And then exhale, lowering back down. On this next inhale, you're coming up into Cobra, feet on the mat, using the muscles of the back. Now, if you want to start to press the hands into the mat and come up a little bit higher, please do. On your next exhale, lower back down. And then come on up into downward dog. And slowly walking forward to the top of your mat into a forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, overhead. Exhale, palms together at your heart. Feel your breath. Tree pose. Rest your gaze somewhere eye level in front of you. Shift the weight of your body to your left foot. As you bend your right knee, swing it open and slide the foot up the leg, either below the knee or above the knee. Squeezing foot into inner thigh into foot. And then maybe you want to reach the arms overhead, just an option. Whatever you're doing, you want it to be breathable, present to the sensations, ever changing in your body. And with your next exhale, bring your palms back together in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. And then we'll step the right foot back in space. And pivot to the long edge of the mat. Warrior two, second side. Take a look at your feet, turn them to the right, bend your right knee, open the arms. Rotate the palms towards the sky, draw the shoulder blades onto the back, lift the heart away from the navel, and then just rotate the palms back down. Gaze over the middle hand, the finger of your right hand, pressing down through the feet. You can always come back to that. As I'm breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. As I'm breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Just a nice way to just help redirect the mind to the breath if the mind starts to wander. Reverse warrior. Left hand to left thigh. Reach that right arm up. Big stretch. And then exhale, cartwheel your arms down. Come into that high lunge. The right knee's bent. The left knee, that's your back one, is up off the floor. And then step back, downward dog. Spread those fingers wide. Press the base of each finger into the mat. Let the head just hang. And then slow kind of nodding of the head, like you're saying a slow no with your head. And then head back through center. Inhaling, either just coming to knees and onto the floor, or if you'd like to inhale, coming into a plank, you sure can. With an exhale, we'll meet on the mat. Arms alongside the body. Let's do locust pose. With an inhale, using the muscles of your back, slowly lift your arms and legs. Staying here, lifting up, broad chest. It's almost like you're moving the heads of your shoulders back away from the floor. Feel your breath. On your next exhale, go ahead and release. Place your hands on the mat and come on back up through downward dog. Excellent. Now you can walk forward, or if you like to hop, some people like to hop forward into a forward fold. You sure can do that. Let's inhale, coming into half forward fold. Exhale, release back down into that forward fold, and inhale, reach out and up towards the sky, palms overhead. Exhale, hands together at heart. Step your left foot back behind you, pivot towards the long edge of your mat, and then we're going to come into warrior two on the first side once again. So first your Vadrasana 2 that we came to. Heart lifted. And we're going to move into triangle pose next. Go ahead and get into it. If you have a special way you like to get into triangle pose, I wanted to show you a way that I really like to get in triangle pose that I feel like helps my pelvis best align in a way that feels healthy. So check it out. I straighten my left leg and then I turn to face the left leg. Like I'm going to just fold over the straightened left leg, which I am going to do actually. I'm going to fold that direction. And then I bring my fingertips to whatever they're going to touch, a block, the shin, the floor. And then from here, I lift my top shoulder, right shoulder. Here I am in triangle pose, reaching that right arm up. If you're like me and you get kind of like snap, crackle, pop in the pelvis as you come into triangle pose, this is a nice way to avoid that. And I find it's a really nice way to keep length on both sides of the trunk. You can lean your head and heart back a little bit if that feels good. One more round of breath here. Bending the left knee, come on up. Let's go on into the second side. So pivot your feet to your right, bend the right knee, opening up into warrior two. One more round of breath in warrior two. Triangle pose. Straightening right leg. Rotate trunk to face right leg, and then hinge at your hips towards the right leg. Right arm down, left arm up. Coming back to the breath, noticing how you're breathing. Equal inhale to exhale. You could count how long it takes to inhale and exhale. There's just a couple more breaths in triangle pose. Good, and then bending the right knee, come on up. Pivot both toes to the top edge of your mat. Let's take a forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Really see how much length you can get on both sides of the waist here. Toes are turning in slightly. Now heel toe, those feet towards the center of the mat. Slight bend of the knees, hands to the hips. Inhale, slowly come on up. Mountain pose. Feel your breath. Okay, let's come on back down to the floor. Come onto your belly. Cobra pose, hands on either side of chest. Hug elbows in, tops the feet to the floor. On an inhale, lift head and chest, and we'll pause here. Your choice. Just strengthening the upper back body, maybe using just simply the back muscles, or if you like, press your hands down into the floor and go a little bit higher. As long as it's breathable, it feels like it's healthy. There's a toning of the glutes. And then with an exhale, go ahead and release back down to the floor. Crocodile pose. Flip over onto your back. Please avoid pulling your knees into your chest. If you feel like you need to counter that last pose, just take the feet wide, let the knees fall in. We're going to move into bridge pose next. Walk the feet towards each other, arms alongside the body. Gazing at the ceiling, press the feet down to lift the hips. Lifting the heart, lifting the hips, the heart reaching away from the knees, knees reaching away from the heart. Maybe interlacing the fingers underneath you, straightening those elbows. One more round of breath here. And then release. Pelvis to the mat. Constructive rest pose. Take the feet wide. Knees fall in. You can rest your hands on your belly just to have another way of sensing the breath. Noticing what moves as you inhale, what moves as you exhale. Right ankle over left thigh, pigeon pose. Grabbing a hold of the back of that left thigh. Reclined pigeon rather. One more round of breath here. Second side, left ankle over right, pigeon pose. Keeping that top foot flexed. And then untangle those legs. The next posture is revolved, hand to foot, reclined pose, basically. So if this doesn't feel accessible to you, you're welcome just to come into a regular twist. You're always welcome to use a strap if you need for this, if the back of your legs are still feeling pretty confined. So to begin, you're going to extend your right leg towards the sky and grab your big toe with your left index finger and middle finger. You're going to hop your hips to the right slightly of your mat and then extend your opposite leg. Go ahead and swing the leg across the body, coming into this revolved hand to foot pose. Right arm can be back behind you. Oh, another option too would be simply maybe you just keep that front knee bent and you just come into a more simple twist, the top knee bent. So now my right hip is stacked over my left hip. Feeling the breath. Good, and then go ahead and release. Hop your hips back through center. Take a moment noticing right and left and right side of the body. And then grabbing left big toe with the right foot, with the right hand. Hop your hips to the left, straighten bottom leg, and you're going to swing the leg across the body. Make sure I'm on camera here. So your top hip, that's your left one. Reach it away from the heart. Sometimes that top hip will creep up as we do this. Last round of breath. And then go ahead and release. Come on back through center. One more bridge pose here. I want you to do bridge pose like a robot here. So elbows are bent, fingertips pointing towards the sky. Press the elbows down, lift the hips. So we're drawing the shoulder blades flat underneath us. Feel the strength of your legs pressing down into the floor. And then slowly roll down the spine, preparing for Shavasana. So arms and legs go long, scan through the body, inviting any tension to release into the floor. Soften the face and closing the eyes. And pay particular attention to your belly, your shoulders, your glutes, and anywhere else that you know that you tend to hold tension. A gentle invitation to relax, to let go in these areas. If the mind starts to wander, you're always welcome to come back to that. As I breathe in, I know I'm breathing in. As I breathe out, I know I'm breathing out. Shavasana. Deepen your breath. Bringing some movement to your fingers and toes. And then moving into a morning stretch. Drawing your knees into your chest, rolling to one side. And taking your time coming up to a comfortable seat of your choice. We'll meet with our palms together in front of our heart. Taking note of how you're feeling in this moment. If you were able to cultivate any feelings of relaxation in class today, any experiences of ease or spaciousness, I encourage you to think of someone you'd like to dedicate your practice to. Think of them and where they may be in their day. See them clearly in your mind. And then we'll send out this ease, relaxation, spaciousness to these special beings with an exhale. Big breath in. Send it out. Thank you for practicing. Namaste.